What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Colts Law, the place where you can get all of your Colts info, especially the game before. I mean, come on. We're getting ready to face the Houston Texans, but we just ended up facing the Tennessee Titans, and we took – I know there is, but hey, that's why this is recorded. Faye says there's no one here right now. There will be soon enough. Everybody knows I go live at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fridays. We got to cover these games for the Colts, right? And I want to go over, since we're here, I want to go over a little bit about the Titans game. And honestly, I can't be too upset with the game. I know Derrick Henry ran all over Indy, but to be fair, I mean, the Colts defense was just getting blocked out. The way the Colts run game is, you got to be able to have those defensive linemen hold their lines so that the linebackers can run free to make tackles, and that's not what happened. The Texans line was able to just seriously move people out of their position. The loss of Danico Autry, the loss of DeForest Buckner really hurt us in that situation. And then, of course, Bobby Okereke not being able to play due to the fact that, stretch runs, that affects big time. And quite frankly, there was times in that game where Henry would get 5, 6, 7 yards before he'd even get touched. And I knew this was going to be a problem coming in. I also knew there was going to be a problem with Ryan Kelly being out, but it wasn't as big of a problem until Anthony Castonzo, the left tackle, went out. And then, now you got LaRaven Clark going in, and everybody knows what kind of issues that brings to the game. Problem is, the Indianapolis Colts going into this coming game is going to be without Anthony Castonzo again, and we'll get into that in just a moment. But really, Jonathan Taylor not being there. What's up, High Octane Analysis? Jonathan Taylor not being there, and then Jordan Wilkins getting hurt in the game, that limited us to one running back, Nyheim Hines, which meant we couldn't really do any kind of power running ourselves to wear out the Titans defense, which kind of hurt us in the second half. So we was missing 3 starting front 7, 2 Pro Bowl offensive linemen, and two of our 3 running backs. So that's just it was a recipe for disaster against the Titans. And it's water under the bridge. I'm not going to let it bug me because, hey, guess what? The Indianapolis Colts, we got Jonathan Taylor back. We got DeForest Buckner back for this game against the Texans. Lewis Ocean brings up a pretty darn good thing here. Being honest, I think this game is going to be closer than a lot of people think. I think you might be right, my guy. I think you might be right. I think it will be a little bit closer, especially with AC out. You say you want Danny Pinterface at the tackle position instead of LaRaven. I'd rather have Chaz Green. You know what I'd like to see the Colts do? Run out there with 6 offensive linemen. Because goodness gracious, if you stick LaRaven Clark out there on left tackle, J.J. Watt has the right to move anywhere on that defensive line he darn well wants. And if he sees LaRaven Clark out there, he's going to line up across him every stinking down. Every down. I'm afraid of that. So why don't we put 6 offensive linemen out there? We're used to running 3 tight end sets. Why don't we run 6 offensive lineman sets with 2 tight ends, a wide receiver, and a running back? And just run it down their throats. Have LaRaven and Chaz out there on the right tackle. Right? I think that'd be perfect. And just run it down. The way the Patriots used to do to the Colts back in the 2000s when Peyton Manning was quarterback and our defense couldn't stop a nosebleed running-wise. Remember that? Why can't the Colts do that in this game? I think that'd be great. Just run freaking Jonathan Taylor right down their throats with 6 offensive linemen. And then when they start to bring 8, 9 people into the box, then pull Rivers back. and let him throw the football. I think that'd be the perfect. I think that's the perfect solution here. Whether or not Frank Reich decides to go that route, probably not. But I think it'd be a really good thing to do. But here's the thing. All right, we're down, as I said, 4 guys in this game. 4 key players. Anthony Castonzo is one of those key players. The other one, Bobby Okereke, will miss his 2nd week in a row. That hurts. But we're also missing now Khari Willis, our strong safety that's good in the box to be able to stop the run. Now, the good thing about this is the Texans ain't got much of a run game. Duke Johnson doesn't scare anyone running the football. He's good. He's good catching the ball out of the backfield, but he's not a Derrick Henry. We're not scared of their run game. But what is going to hurt us more than what I think a lot of people will realize, and shout out to Rigoberto Sanchez, okay? The man, the punter for the Colts, he just had this week, this is my first opportunity to talk about it, he had a cancerous tumor removed this week. It's unknown how long he's going to be out. It said that he's going to be, he's in recovery. So hopefully they'll be okay. Yeah, I heard that they're starting Tavon over Khari Willis. Tavon Wilson, yes. So I don't know. I wish, hope, and pray Rigoberto Sanchez a very quick, healthy recovery, because he is a major component, not just for the team, obviously. I mean, just for personal reasons. I mean, you want everyone to defeat cancer, okay? So just on a personal level, defeat cancer. If you can't make it back this season, that's fine. But I hope you recover well. But Rigoberto Sanchez is a major component in the Colts special teams, which is one of the top 5 in the NFL, because this man can punt. He is one of those guys who can change the field position for the Colts in a hurry. He's the reason, part of the reason why the Colts have 2 safeties. All right. He's part of the reason why the Colts get a lot of 3 and outs, because we'll pin them, inside the 10, even the 5-yard line multiple times. So I like Rigo a lot, and I really hope him the best. I hope he comes back great. Now, we talked about the Colts guys that are being out of this game. Let's talk about the Houston Texans, because they've got some guys out in this game that's going to help Indy a lot. CJ Prosise, he is the kick returner, and he's the backup. Prosise. I'm sorry, I can't believe I said Prosise. It's Prosise. Backup running back to Duke Johnson. Not too shabby. He's good as a receiver out of the backfield like Duke Johnson is, but he's also their return man. He's out for this game. Randall Cobb is on IR. Will Fuller was suspended for PED use, which means they've got Brandon Cooks and Kiki Kuti and Isaiah Coulter. That's their wide receiving core, guys. I'm more scared of Jordan Akins and Darren Fells than I am their wide receiver core, especially with Bobby Okereke out. Blacklock is still questionable. I don't know if he's out. He's questionable for the game. So there's no it was actually a question earlier. Who was it that asked that question? Let me look. I don't see it. But somebody asked about the question about Blacklock, and yeah, he's still questionable. I don't hear nothing about it. Kimoko Toure, I think, is going to be able to play. He had some limited practice this week. I think they're just resting that ankle to make sure he can play. Big hit. Their left corner starter, Bradley Roby, out, suspended, PED use. Bam. That's huge. That means Philip Gaines is starting opposite Vernon Hargreaves. And then, of course, Eric Murray and Justin Reed at safety. This looks like a game, honestly, If it wasn't for the fact that Anthony Castonzo was out, I'd say throw the ball all day, every day against this team. But since he's out, I still think we can run the ball. The Texans are not very good against the run. And I think that we could really just pound the ball down their throats. Let me go look and see the stats here. Defensively, where the Texans run, average against the run. And I'm pretty sure they are 31st in the NFL, giving up 154.7 yards a game on the ground. 154.7. My goodness. That's terrible. I mean, that's awful. If the Colts can't find a run game in this game, we're in trouble. And they're not that much better against the pass. I mean, what are they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're 23rd in the NFL against the pass, giving up 255 yards through the air. So I honestly believe that the Colts should be able to move the ball very, very well, as long as they keep J.J. Watt and Whitney Merciless in check. I don't see it. Faye says that he hopes. He says he has a feeling, but it's more of a hope, I'm sure, that we are able to get Patman, Des Patman, and Jacob Eason in for a few snaps this game. I doubt it. Unless it is, even if it's a massive blowout, I see Jacoby Brissett going out there. And the reason I say that is because I think the Colts are going to give Brissett all the opportunities he can to showcase his skills as a backup, because I don't know if the Colts will re-sign him. So I think they're going to give some tape on him so that another team might pick him up. And if they do, then, that's how it works out. What's up, Lawrence Mason? Whatever's clever. They should test Brian Cushing just for fun. Yeah, they should. But here's the thing. When it comes to Deshaun Watson, anything can happen. I hope and pray Kemoko Turay plays this game, because he's about one of the best guys that we have off the edge that could chase this guy down, right? If we could get Grover Stewart and DeForest Buckner up the middle to push him out of the pocket, Turay's that guy that can chase him down. He's fast enough to chase him down. So that's how I see it. And I hope. I don't think that Jacoby Brissett is the future of the Indianapolis Colts. I think Jacoby Brissett will end up getting a contract with another team at the end of this season. The Colts will probably, doesn't matter. I don't think it matters if Phillip Rivers plays next year or not. The Colts might offer Phillip Rivers another year contract. If they do, that's cool by me. But I think they'll go after another quarterback as well, whether it'll be in the draft or maybe a trade, right? I mean, if the Jets get the first pick of the draft and they're like, ooh, Trevor Lawrence, then that'll put Sam Darnold on the market. I can see the Colts offering a second or third round pick for Darnold, and then Darnold and Eason could fight it out to see who's going to end up starting as a future Colt. I think that would be a guy that I think would that'd be a promising venture for the Colts in the future. But man, Deshaun Watson's dangerous. We all seen it. The man don't go down. And yes, I understand that his receiving core right now is awful. I mean, terrible. But that don't mean much. Brandon Cook's still a good receiver. Keke Coutee, let me give you a little information about Keke Coutee if you don't know him very well. When he's healthy, he can have big games. He has one of those kind of profiles where if you can't cover him over the slot, and I understand we have Kenny Moore, but they might line Coutee up out wide so that Kenny Moore's not on him, and he's on someone like Rock Ya-Sin, because I'll about guarantee that Xavier Rhodes is going to be on Brandon Cooks, because, I mean, Xavier Rhodes leads the NFL. That's right, people. Leads the NFL in quarterback rating against, right? He's the best in the NFL at allowing the lowest quarterback rating thrown to him, people that he's covering. It's like 43% or something like that, or 43 quarterback rating. Unbelievable. But Kuti, he's one of those guys that he could have a crap game, but show up one game and just have 170 yards and 2 touchdowns. So you got to be careful with Kuti. I think this is a game where Lawrence Mason says this should be T.Y. Hilton's game. I get that. T.Y. Hilton has a history, has a massive history with the Houston Texans. And I get that, and I understand it. And on top of that, it's in NRG Stadium, which is basically T.Y.'s second home. I mean, he averages like 110 yards and 2 touchdowns a game there or something like that. But Michael Pittman Jr. has been showing up as of late and has been earning the trust of Phillip Rivers week after week since he's been back from injury. His number of targets and receptions has gone up week after week after week. So and plus, he's a heck of a blocker out there for the run game. And if they want to run the football like I expect them to, they're going to want Pittman out there a lot. So I expect Michael Pittman Jr. to get a lot of snaps in this game. And if you got him on your fantasy roster, you better start him, because I don't know if Vernon Hargreaves can stop him. I don't. Hargreaves is a very physical corner, but I don't think Hargreaves is fast enough to handle Pittman, especially if Pittman's running a lot of post routes, slants, drags, like what we've seen from him these past 3 weeks. That's just what I figure. TJ Khari, hey, that's a good question. Hold on. Colts report. I think he is. Not injury report. Depth chart. My bad, guys. I typed in the wrong thing. My nose itches. That's one of the greatest things to have happen to you live on camera. Looks like you're picking your nose. But I promise it's not what I'm doing. Yes, TJ Khari is fine. Khari Willis is out. As I said, Bobby Okereke's out. Everybody else on that defense looks good and ready to go. Looks good and ready to go. Kemoko Turay, there's not even a question. As in, he's not even questionable for the game. So it looks like he's good to go. Chaz Green is questionable. I could see Pinter. If Chaz Green can't make it, and we got LaRaven Clark on Anthony Castonzo, you might get your wish from earlier about having Pinter out there, but I think he could end up being that 6th offensive lineman like what I was talking about earlier. So that'd be an interesting setup. The only problem is I think Rocky Sin will be fine this game. You just can't put him up against Kiki Kuti. Okay? Put him up against a third corner or a third receiver. Heck, I'd put Rock on a tight end. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Put him up on Akins. I would put Rock Sin on Jordan Akins, because I think Rock is physical enough to handle a tight end and fast enough. Because Akins, I've been saying Jordan Akins is a dangerous tight end all the way back to last season. I was like, man, he's their best. Everybody was like, oh, Darren Fells is that guy. No, Jordan Akins is better. And then what do you see? Now he's top on their tight end chart. Why? Because I said so. Well, not necessarily because I said so, but you know what I'm saying. I seen it coming. I seen it happening. Yeah, Lewis Ocean says if the Colts blitz Watson, they could win, but Watson plays with no pressure, and he's scary when he's free to play. And that's true. That is true. But what you got to do is play him the way you play him. You play this is a Colts team that's built to face Watson, right? the speed in our front seven to contain him on the inside and make sure that he can't get free and then close in around him. That is how this front seven for the Colts is built, to beat them. So I really hope that we can do it. We generally hold. Deshaun Watson generally don't have big games against us. He's had average games, but generally he don't have 300-plus yard passing games because the Colts are able to get to him. And the fact that he doesn't have the talent right there, he's missing two of his biggest players at wide receiver. I mean, Randall Cobb, Will Fuller, those are two. He has huge trust in Fuller, and Randall Cobb is a good possession receiver that he's locked in on a lot this season. I could see some turnovers in this game, especially if we get pressure up the middle. Absolutely. Hey, while I'm here, I want to say thank you to Leanne Wet WA. Mary Remembers 85 and Michael Robert for joining over on Sportscaster as well. Man, if you guys want to say anything over here on Sportscaster, please mention something. This is my premier podcast that is sent to Spotify. So get your questions in. It's going to be everywhere. So just let you know this. And if you want to catch me on all of my stuff, whether it's Colts or NFL in general, go to sportscaster.com/Lawrence Owen, all caps on Lawrence Owen, no space, and follow my network. That way you're notified when I go live, because I'm live every day except Saturdays, because I have Saturdays off because I have this stream on Fridays, and then Sundays and Mondays are huge days for me. But give me a follow. You'll be notified when I go live. I've got a few of you people out here on YouTube that already follows me on Sportscaster, and I appreciate that. Yes, they do. They have a phone app. They absolutely do, Lewis. And it's free. High Octane. In all honesty, the Texans' interior O-line is very weak. Bucks and Groh should have a huge impact on this game. I think they should. I think the Colts will probably not send a lot of blitzes, because I honestly feel like as long as we have Buckner in there and Stewart in the middle, as High Octane just mentioned, we're going to get pressure up the gut. We got Houston on the outside. You're going to have Al-Qadim Muhammad and Kimoko Ture on the other end. I think we'll be fine. I think we'll get plenty of pressure, unlike against the Texans, because, quite frankly, we were too worried about Henry running all over us. So, that's what happens. But first and foremost, you got to stop the run, right? No, we don't blitz a lot, Lawrence Mason. No, we do not. I think we're the third least blitzing team in the NFL. But we're the fifth best quarterback pressure team in the NFL. So that got to tell you, when we have a healthy defensive line, we have one of the best defensive lines in football. But we need to have it healthy. People don't realize how much DeForest Buckner really does affect this defensive line, how good he is. Man, if you guys haven't voted in the Pro Bowl, go vote. Go vote on social media. Go to the Indianapolis Colts social media on Twitter. Find that voting thing that they got and retweet it and like it, because every retweet and like gets a vote for those guys. Please do so. That'll help out immensely. Man, there's some guys that on this defense that absolutely deserve to get to the Pro Bowl. Xavier Rhodes should be an all-pro, in my opinion. I think he's one of the best corners in the NFL this year. I think him and J.C. Jackson for the Patriots should be the two corners on the AFC at first-team all-pro. I think DeForest Buckner's the best DT right now in the AFC. He should be there as well. So go vote. Go vote if you haven't done so already. So let's talk about, guys, I've got a sore throat coming on. I don't understand why. So I got a special guest that has agreed to join me, not on this stream, but week 16. I have a very special guest that has agreed to join me to represent the Pittsburgh Steelers. So make sure you mark your calendars for that Friday previous. That way you could watch that. I'm not going to announce who it is. You may not even know who he is, but let's just say he knows his stuff, and he's a sports analysis guy who covers them. So just let you know. Blankenship, yeah. Blankenship has already got pretty much the kicker lockdown. Phase is correct on that one. And really, I don't think the Colts should lose this game. I think the Colts should win by at least 10. But the way this defense starts games out scares me a little. I mean, it seems like every week the Colts end up going down early in the first half and then fighting defensively. Oh, Tavon Wilson will be fine. He's a veteran out there, Colts Nation. He's a veteran out there. He'll know what he'll do just fine right beside Julian Blackmon. He'll be up there to make sure, probably help cover tight ends and things of that nature. Tavon will be fine. When he's came in replace of Khari Willis before, he did fine. I think he'll be fine now. But yes, he did. Tyquan Lewis did play a solid last week. He got some tackles for losses and stuff. So, my little film room that was asked for him, I put it out. He did what I thought he would do. He did just fine. I mean, we could see Tyquan playing the end again this week, because Tyquan is listed as a defensive tackle, defensive end. I'd rather see Tyquan Lewis than Al-Qadim Muhammad, because to me, I feel like Muhammad gets moved off his spot too easy, right? Yes, Muhammad's got some pass rush to him, but I'd rather have Kimoko Toure in the pass rush situations. I'd rather have Lewis in there on run stopping. Well, here's the thing. When Blackmon went down, see, Tavon Wilson's not really a free safety. Tavon Wilson's more of a strong. I think he plays strong safety better than he plays free safety. Blackmon's more of a coverage guy who can tackle when needed. And Khari Willis is more of a run support guy. So I think Tavon's going to have a better situation filling in for Khari than when he filled in for Julian Blackmon. No, he wasn't. Wait, I think he did play a couple snaps. Let me look real quick. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I am just checking real quick. All right, so I'm in this looking, and he did. He had 4 snaps last week. 4. 6% of the snaps. He had 10 snaps the week before, 17%. I expect him to have more than that this week. So I just let you know that. Yes, I have all that information that I can go look up and just right at my fingertips, which is nice. So feel free to ask me questions, whatever you need to do. We're 30 minutes in and my throat's starting to get a little sore. Why only 4? Oh, because they were running the football a lot. Colts Nation, it was a good question. Why did Kimoko Toure only play 4 snaps? Because they were not in passing definite passing situations very much against the Titans. They were running the ball so effectively with Derrick Henry that you weren't seeing 2nd and 15, 3rd and 8 kind of situations very up. So, that's what Kemoko Turay specializes in, is pass rush, and you put him in situations like that. You don't want him in when it's 1st and 10 or 1st and 5 or 2nd and 3, knowing that it's going to be Henry up the gut, because Kemoko Turay will get run over. I love Kemoko Turay, but with him dealing with still, coming back from that ankle injury, I'd rather him not have to try to tackle Derrick Henry. So that's why he only had 4% of the snaps. And that's the way I see it. That's the way I see it. And this game is completely different. The Texans don't have that kind of run game. They have more of a passing game. And that's why I think Kemoko will probably get a lot more snaps in this game, because I think the Colts will be able to force the Texans into 2nd and 3rd and longs a lot more than what they did against the Titans last week. I hope that makes sense to you guys. Oh, yeah, Colts Nation. Xavier Rhodes has improved a lot. And it's not just our scheme, okay? Go check out my film room. If you guys haven't checked out my film room, now I apologize, because it was one of my first film rooms that I did, and I was still really new at presentation. But if you type in Xavier Rhodes / Lawrence Owen, you'll find my film room on YouTube. I think it's on Sportscaster as well. And I show when he was healthy with the Vikings last year and the year before, early in the season, he played fantastic. He was locking down guys like Tyreek Hill and Julio Jones, locking them down, not giving up even more than 30 yards a game. He was doing great. The problem is he would get hurt as the season wore on. Like week 4, week 5, he would suffer like an abdominal injury or a knee injury, ankle, calf, hamstring, something like that. And the Vikings, instead of sitting his butt and letting him get healthy, they forced him to play because he was the best player out there. And he just had to, and it just lingered throughout the season, which affected his play because it was all lower body, dealing with how he moves and stuff, and his speed and his cuts and stuff like that. The Colts ain't that kind of team. The Colts are like, hey, if you need time to rest and heal, take it. We have depth. And that's why, because Xavier Rhodes, when he needs a rest, we give it to him. Xavier Rhodes is playing top dog again, and I said it in my film room. I expected Xavier to play at a Pro Bowl, at least a Pro Bowl level, and he definitely is. What's up, Alpha? Alpha Wolf joins, says, here's my tardy slip. You're good, man. You're good. You're good. You made it, and that's all that matters. So, Laramie Tunsil is a beast, but I'll tell you what. Justin Houston is a really crafty veteran, right? And I think that Justin Houston will be able to do some things to Laramie Tunsil. Actually, the last time we played this team, no, that was Kansas City. Some things that Kemoko Turay does really good is the stunt maneuvers, right? I could see him moving over to where the left tackle, where Laramie Tunsil is, and watching him and DeForest Buckner switch out, because that would screw some people up, wouldn't it? If you had DeForest Buckner at your 3 tech, and then having Kemoko Turay out wide, and then watch Buckner go out to Tunsil, and then you'll get in. He'd end up getting double teamed by the left guard and Laramie Tunsil, and watch Kemoko just swing around to the inside. That'd be scary. That would be scary. My face. What? 220. It is. Why is it doing that? That's weird. Huh. I don't know why it's doing that, because it's doing that on all of them. It must be because my string, maybe if I cut down some stuff. Hold on. See if that helps any. No, I don't think it did. That's weird. I'm running this through StreamYard, so it might have something to do with it. Hopefully you can hear me well. Can we put a cast on both Rocketson's hands? Alpha Wolf says. Oh my goodness, that's so funny. That is so funny. Honestly, Rock plays physical. That's what he does. And he's done it ever since college, okay? That's how he's taught. And I'm okay with that. I think my stream got better now that I cut some stuff out. I think Rock will be just fine, okay? Some weeks he gets called on these, some weeks he don't. Now, what he's going to have to do is for the next couple weeks is to be a little less handsy. It's got to run. He's got to be a little less handsy, because he said it himself, right? That he'll get a reputation. That he could get a reputation, a bad reputation with refs, and that means they'll be watching him a lot more. Hopefully, he'll be able to stay with his hands, and it'll help long term, so that if they don't call for pass interference on him for a couple weeks. That's why I don't want him on Keke Coutee, because Keke Coutee is too quick and agile. All right, I'd rather have him on a tight end right now. Hey, Just Plain folks, I don't know if Yasin is hopeless. It's how he's taught to play, okay? Especially since he comes from a wrestling background. It's just going to take time for him to get. There's a lot of times where, I mean, you see corners playing exactly the same way he plays, and they don't get called for what they get, because it's refs. Moncrief did not. I don't think Luck made Moncrief look. I think Moncrief had issues getting open. And that's why he's moved all over the place. Now, if I remember right, last week he had a heck of a kick return for the Pats, I think it was. Wasn't it the Pats? Or was it the Steelers? I think it's the Pats, because I think the Steelers cut him. I remember seeing where Dante Moncrief had a good kickoff return, like 50-some yards. So maybe he's relegated down to that, but at least he's still playing. But hey, you know what? That's another Ballard pick. So I think Rock will be fine. It'll just like every corner who is physical and a little handsy, every once in a while you got to let off of that every couple weeks, because the refs will start seeing it a little bit more. There was times when some of those PIs were called, and it could have been called on either one of them, the receiver or Moncrief, okay? Or Rock Yasin, I'm sorry. Could have been called on either one of them, because they were both like fighting, hand fighting. And it shouldn't, and they generally call that on Yasin. Now the jersey tug, that was a bit obvious. And you see that once in a while with everyone. He don't do that all the time, but in a situation like that, you got to look. You look up. If you see the ball and you think it is catchable by the receiver and you can't get in there, that's when you do the jersey tug. Because you would rather give up a PI at that spot than let him catch it in the end zone. Okay? But that ball was not catchable. It was a good 5 yards out of the reach. So if he was able to look back and see the ball and its trajectory, he would have known that. Now, generally, corners are not told to look back unless you got perfect position on them. Unless you're like right here in their face, you're not supposed to look back. If you got space there, you're supposed to be as close to them and keep your hands up and do all that. So he couldn't look back at the ball. So you would rather give up a PI and have the ball placed at the 1 yard line than give up a touchdown because you got burnt. Okay? Just saying. Just saying. At least that gives your defense a chance to stop it and force them into a field goal. Yeah, we already talked about LaRaven Clark. I said that I think that if Chaz Green cannot play because he's questionable, Alpha, because LaRaven Clark is starting, and I want the Indianapolis Colts to play a 6 offensive lineman situation and put Chaz Green out there on the outside of LaRaven Clark to help protect. And if Chaz Green can't go, then drop Danny Pinter out there, okay? And just run the ball up one of the worst run defenses in the NFL with Jonathan Taylor and 6 offensive linemen, the way the Colts used to do, or the way the Patriots used to do the Colts back in the 2010s. Rebellious Ron, what's going on, guys? What's going on? Appreciate you being here. Don't forget, please smash that like button. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe and follow me. So I would appreciate it. And there's a little share button. Go ahead and click that and copy and paste that to your favorite social media, whether it's Twitter or Instagram or Facebook or whatever it is that you go through. I would really, really appreciate it. Help me get my content out there because, man, I do this every week. I sit here, I break down the games, I drop these film rooms down for you guys. Over on Sportscaster, obviously, I sit here and I talk every Sunday morning, do matchups for each game, then Sunday night, then Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays. I'm a busy man, and I love my job. And the reason I do it is because of guys like you, guys and girls, all of you. Hey, what's going on, man? Ron, I really appreciate you being here. I hope you followed and subscribed. I really appreciate that. That's my boy down there. Just let you know. Rebellious Ron's my boy, so shout out to him. All right. Tomorrow's going to be a boring day of college football. No good games on, huh? Well, maybe I could do you guys a favor. Just Plain Folks asks, what software do I use to stream? I have Streamlabs OBS, and I also use StreamYard. Just let you know, depending upon if I'm running the multiple destinations or not. But anyhow, maybe I can give you guys some content to watch tomorrow. Here's my thought. I have generally only do 1 film room a week. Last week I did 2. This week, maybe I could put out some more content. But it'll be a record. It won't be a live session. It'll be a recorded that I'll post up. Whether it's a film room or whether it's breaking down something general, let me know in the chats or in the comments down below if you're watching this after the stream. Please, or listening to this. You know, there's also a chat on the podcast. Let me know what you'd like me to upload. Whatever has the most likes, I'll do that. I'll upload a video tomorrow on whatever you guys want me to talk about. That way it'll give you guys some more content to consume tomorrow about the Indianapolis Colts. It doesn't have to be Colts, but let's face it. This is Colts Law Podcast. You guys are here to listen and talk about the Colts. Let's make it about the Colts this time, right? I know we got one guy down here that wants a Danny Pinter film room. We got another one that wants a Tavon Wilson film room. It doesn't have to be all that. How about a play calling film room, huh? Defensive or offensive play calling. There's all kind of film rooms that we could do, guys. So you could drop that after this is over, not in the live chat. I want it in the comment section. That way I could go over it, okay? So after this is over, you could always just hit the refresh button and then go down there and just type it in the comment sections. If someone already puts in something that you want, just hit the like on it. That way I can count it up. And then I'll check everywhere. I'll check YouTube. I will check my podcast. I will check Sportscaster. All right? And whatever suggestion has the most likes, I'll do it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. It's been 46 minutes, and I appreciate everyone being here. Don't forget, I have my Colts Law podcast on Spotify. It's also on Sportscaster. Please don't forget to check me out on Sportscaster. I'm also here on YouTube. Please share my stuff. Hit the like. Hit the subscribe. Man, it's road to 1K here on YouTube. That way I could get to that 1K so that I could have more people. It helps with the analytics. Anyone that has at least 1K subscribers, the analytics helps out a lot. So please, I appreciate anything and everything that you guys can do to help me achieve that goal. And don't forget, if you want to support me on Sportscaster, you can support me by hitting right up here. There's a little green button that you can donate to my channel. And then on YouTube, right down here in the description side, there's places that you could donate as well. I'll tell you what, if you donate at least $25, I'll do anything, any film room you want. If you could do a $25 one, I'll do any film room you want for anyone at any time. But you know what? I'm not here to make money. I'm here to give content. So I'm guaranteeing content at least once a week anyhow when it comes to film rooms. And that's free. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. I really like talking to all of you. All of you. Juiced Up, Colts Nation, Alpha, Just Plain Folks, John Davis, what's up? Go Colts. High Octane, FaZe. All you guys, if I missed some of you, I am sorry. I apologize. But until next time, as usual, I'm Lawrence Owen. This is Colts Law. We're going over Colts, Texans. And as usual, have a good one.